Wednesday, 8:05 p.m. According to the Dr. Cranky calendar, it is the 16th. Figured I'd do a little build update on the Cranky truck. I've been working on the interior, trying to get the layout. I stole this seat and built a platform in there, and I've got the seat, and I made sure that it's all going to fit right. I scratch built this, what I'm calling my nitrous bottle here, and that's going to be plumbed in. I scrounged up a fire extinguisher, and that's going to be kind of plumbed to like a little valve or something. Just little gizmology, as Doc calls it. I got the pedals, started painting some of the things I am going to use from the 50 Ford, or Chevy. I keep saying Ford, I don't know why. It's a dang Chevy. Interior is going to be black. It's going to be flat black, but there's going to be some gloss black, some chrome trim, just a little bit, not too much. It's kind of a, just a racing truck. So, and I put in the shifter and built a little mount, and I've got the shifter there. I'm going to be using the steering wheel from the Bigfoot because it was a lot more beefy, and I kind of extended the shaft and made all, modified this and got that where the length is going to be right, and it's just black right now. What most of the model is in enamel. This frame is enamel. Some of the little hubs and odds and ends are enamel. Some of the motor is enamel. The body is enamel. And then all these little details I've been painting are acrylics. And I'm using the Model Masters pretty much exclusively. I stripped a good part of the chrome, and I outcladded it just to give it to look better. It was too chromy. The grill needed a lot of work. Once I stripped it, there was a lot of flashy little edges and bumps and stuff in between, and I took a lot of time, and I went over this grill and filed and sanded and kind of polished, and then I enamel blacked it, and then I outcladded it, and it just looks beautiful. I love the way this grill came out. It looks metal. I mean, it just came out so nice. The other parts are the same. I kind of just stripped a number of things and just went the outclad route. And some of it's on here, of course, like the bumpers. I've already got the bumpers on here. I went ahead and put them on there. As you can see, I've got the engine in there, transmission, transfer case, all that stuff's done. I got the exhaust in, shoehorned up in there. Valve covers were chromed again. I kind of distressed the blower. I'm not quite happy with that, but I may touch that back up. I've got the belt in. There's exhaust coming out. It's going to have some tips on it, and I'm probably going to angle them down and out, kind of like fangs or something. That's out the back. This is the back of the truck, as the motor's pointing out the back of the bed. So it's a backward engine in the back of the truck. And I've still got some shocks and works and things to do. I've got some little sway bars that are going to kind of go up in there. The back of this truck is pretty well filled in, pretty much. This seems pretty open to me. One thing that I think I'm going to do, I've had to figure out where to put the radiator. I took the radiator out of the Bigfoot kit because it's about twice as big and it needs a big radiator. So I'm working on that. I just got it chromed right now. I got to paint it black and detail it out and paint the fan blade and all that kind of stuff. Thinking, since I'm going to have to mount it remotely somewhere in the vehicle, there's nowhere around the motor really to put it. I thought I might put it up in here, build an area up in here where the radiator's kind of angled up and kind of down in there where it's catching air, and then that'll give an opportunity to add some plumbing lines coming off of it and some brackets and just more interest and gizmology. This is the front end. I was going to just box in the engine bay with sheet metal. I decided just to keep, since the only things I was mainly going to put up here is this fuel cell and the battery. The fuel cell fit right in there real nice, and I've got a guitar string line coming off of it, and then the battery, I've got my lines on it, Obviously I got to paint the caps, paint the different lines and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to go right above it and mount on a little shelf right there, and it'll be plumbed. And there may be another little gizmo up in there as well. You know, those little gizmos, you gotta put them in there. So that's what's going to be up under the hood. Got everything painted. You know, here's the bed. Got the tailgate, working tailgate. After I primed and sanded, I put a piece of bare metal foil over this section here. And then when I painted it, I went back with a piece of tissue with some lacquer thinner and just lightly started rubbing and changing the tissue and lightly rubbing and a little more thinner and lightly rubbing until that chrome emblem came out. And it came out pretty good. I mean, I couldn't have done that with just trying to foil each letter and everything, and it just blended right in. You can't tell there's like a piece of foil under or anything, and that came out really nice. Got the dash painted, and of course I got a lot of detailing to do on that. I did add this little gauge set. I've got decals for all that. I'm going to wash that stuff and everything to give it some definition. The little side running boards, they go up in there, I believe, like that. Of course, I'm going to put a little, you know, it's got these little grooves in it. I'm going to put a little wash in there. Is the acrylic ink. Get some of this acrylic ink I got at Hobby Lobby, and you mix it with Future. But I'm talking not even a drop of this stuff. So just a minute, tiny bit. And then you can actually just dip the grill in it, or you can brush it on, and the stuff just flows in there. The black pools into all the crevices. It gives it a shine. You're not having to rub or buff and possibly damage the chrome and rub it off and stuff. Give that a try if you get a chance, and you can pick some of this up and play with it a little bit at varying amounts and just mix it with Future. You can actually darn near just dip a grill into this stuff. If you got the right combination, take it out, you know, dab the excess off with a towel and let that dry, just like dipping a windshield or something, and you'll be amazed at what it'll look like. It'll bring the chrome out, and it'll just fill those crevices just beautifully. And I've been playing with that, and it worked really nice. These wheels gave me fits. You know, I kept painting them and then trying to get in there and detail all the bolts and stuff. I tried toothpicks and brushes and different things, and I kept smearing and or stuff would run or something would happen, and all it'd take is one little run or something, and it killed it for me, you know. I wanted it to be very defined, and I stripped these. These have been in the pond 3 times, and so finally I decided I'm going to have to do something else. I seem to remember seeing somewhere in my head where they had actual plates. I've seen it on trucks before. So I finally came up with this idea, and I took some, I think this is 30 or 40,000 styrene, and I took a compass cutter, and I measured measured the interior, and I took a little divider that has a pencil on it, and I made some circles that were a little bit bigger so I could sand them down. I cut them all out with the compass cutter, okay, and then I double taped them all together into a sandwich. I drilled a hole in the center that was an 1/8 inch diameter, and I put a screw through it, and I put it in my drill press, and then I sanded it down, and I kept checking the wheel till I got it where they just fit inside here, that little stack. Okay, then I went back and I laid out some holes and drilled holes all around it, filled in with that 1/8 inch styrene rod. I filled the center back in to make a plate that had these little holes around it that fit down in there, and this is what I come up with. And there just happened to be 4 of these decals on the sheet, so I've got, I don't know if you can see the holes. Yeah, there you go. I put the decals in the center of them, all 4 of them. They all fit down in there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these pins, and I'm going to put them down through So it'll be little pin heads all going around it, those silver heads. I'm going to snip them off at the bottom. I'm not going to be able to get them perfectly off, but I'm going to snip them all the same. So when that drops in there, it'll sit level down inside that wheel. And it's going to look nice. I can already tell. I've kind of been playing with it. I've still got my styrene sticking out of the back. You know, I'll end up snipping that off, and then my pins and everything, so it'll be a disc. And then that'll go down in there. I can't get it to sit straight or go all the way down because it's got that piece on it, but it's going to be, they're going to be way down in there, and it's going to have that cool little added detail. Took a little while to do all that. I've got the wheels finally taken care of. That was a big holdup for me. And then I took the tires and I actually dull coated them, so they got a nice meaty dull look to them. And as you can tell, I'm painting the rims. I've got one more coat of paint to put on here. This is acrylic, but I'm using the same color. This is my Insignia yellow, but this is the acryl Model Master, and this is the enamel that I painted the body and everything with. And that's where I ran into trouble, because I got my parts in there and I got everything set up and got ready to paint. I went to Hobby Lobby. I bought 2 bottles of the Insignia yellow enamel, mixed it up with my thinner, got everything spraying right. I get in there and I'm spraying, and I'm like, you know, trying to get it to, you know, gloss up, and it just wasn't doing right. And I'm spraying. I'm like, well, I need to stop. Maybe I need to thin this more. It's just not getting that gloss, you know, that smooth look. So I set that part down. I grab another part and I'm spraying on it, and it's, you know, I'm like, nah, this is just not doing right. I need to thin it more or something. Something's not right. I go back and look at the other part. It is flat as can be. What I forgot or didn't realize is this is flat paint. So everything was flat yellow. I mean, it was, you know, point of no return, but it looked great. I loved the flat look. Actually looked really cool. So I think I may go back and paint these flat. I mean, I've gone over them with a layer of clear, so I can do the decals. You know, I couldn't do the decals over that flat like that. So I think I'm gonna do the decals, and I'm gonna go back over the whole thing with flat, and so it'll be just the body will have a flat finish. It just looked so cool, especially with the chrome and everything, and then the glossy chassis and all that, and the grill. You know, here's the grill in it. Oh, this way. You know, the way that silver grill came out, and then that yellow, and then imagine that being flat. I mean, it just really stood out. And then as far as the trim, you know, I'm going to do black rubber. I'm not going to chrome any of this stuff. It's going to be black trimmed, just paint. It's really going to put my painting skills to the test, which suck. But that was another reason I went ahead and decided I better clear this. And I'll use the acrylics, and if I mess up, maybe I can wipe it quick enough and you know, not mess up. If it was flat, it'd ruin the paint job. That'd be it. I'd have to start all over. And I've got pieces still laying around that are already kind of ready to go up in here. I've got bolt heads I'm needing to put on things, which, you know, a lot of that stuff's just adding detail, and you know, but the main work is done now. That piece goes up in there. And let's see here. I kind of show a little, I guess. Just kind of give an idea of the color situation, and then imagine the chrome grill, or the dark chrome, I should say. It's going to be nice. Once I get, and it's going to be way up there too. I mean, this chassis puts the body way up in the air. I did screw up here where I had cut my box and trimmed it. I had forgot that the belt sticks up so high. I knew it was on there, but I didn't know it stuck up. So I just wasn't thinking it was sticking up that high. So I had to make quite a bit of a cut to clear that belt. And I've still got other pieces that go on the front of this engine. So I may go in and just, I don't know, I'll have to do some kind of a little trim piece or something, clean that up a little. It kind of looks like, it don't look bad, I guess. As far as the bottom of the bed, I haven't decided anything. I think I'm going to just bare metal foil the metal areas, and the truck will be flat, the paint will be flat, but then I'll gloss coat just the bottom of the bed, and that'll let it stand out. I don't want to get into wood, you know, at this point now, trying to make it look like wood and all that kind of stuff, and try to work around all that, and then I'll probably just, you know, chrome this out, this trim, make it look like aluminum trim around it or something. But you know, still decisions to be made, details to do. You know, like I said, I'm still working out my interior. I am I'm in the market for a helmet, a 1/25th scale racing helmet. I'm not going to have a driver in here or anything, but I'd like to be able to lay a helmet in here and kind of do a nice little paint scheme on it, something geared towards Dr. Cranky. Maybe put a spike on top of it or something. But anyway, if anybody out there's got one, because I would probably have to go on the internet and order something, you know, and just to get a helmet or whatever, it'd be kind of costly. And if somebody's got a little helmet laying around, I'll trade you or maybe work a deal out with you. Just let me know. Otherwise, I may just it probably wouldn't be hard to scratch, build up something, find something that one could be made out of if I just looked around a bit. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. Usually after I work on a model for a certain amount of time, I start getting tired and burned out on it and looking at other models and things. And no, my interest has been strictly, this is all I've been thinking about, is building this thing. And as I go along, it's just been becoming cooler and more little ideas and details that I'm wanting to add. But I'm really close, you know, not far. But anyway, thanks for watching. For anyone who's made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the comments and everything. I just gave up trying to keep up with everybody's videos. I'm subscribed to so many people. There's like every day there's like 15 videos more. If I go 1-2 days without watching, there's, you know, 3 hours of videos, you know, that unwatched all of a sudden. And so I just keep up the best I can. And anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to y'all later. Bye.